Hi, Pastor Ed here from Hope Lutheran Church in Freehold, New Jersey, with my 5 for 5 daily devotions. This one for Friday, November the 18th, 2022. All week long, we've been talking about wisdom, from the story of Solomon. When God asked him, "What should I give you?" He said, understanding and discerning mind, the wisdom to rule wisely. And so that's not the only place in the Bible that talks about wisdom and the importance of wisdom, and how wisdom is connected to our faith in God. In fact, I have 7 key Bible verses on wisdom and discernment that I came across that I'd like to share with you. Maybe won't get through all of them today. I'll finish up the rest of them tomorrow. The first comes from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is considered in the Old Testament part of the wisdom literature. And just as the tradition holds that King David wrote the Psalms, whether he wrote all 150 of them or not, we really don't know. The tradition is that Solomon wrote the Proverbs. These were kind of practical, pithy statements about life and really about the importance of wisdom. So in Proverbs 9, verse 10, among other places, we read, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." And that's really kind of the key verse in the entire book, that it begins with the fear of the Lord. And by that, we're talking about not fear as being afraid, but fear in the sense of understanding and having awe, the awesomeness of God. And knowledge, and because elsewhere in Proverbs, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge as well. The knowledge and wisdom are kind of closely related in the book of Proverbs. But knowledge tends to focus on a correct understanding of the world and our place in the world, while wisdom is the acquired skill of applying that knowledge rightly, or you might say the skill of godly living. So knowledge is about facts, about knowing things. Wisdom is being able to use that knowledge in the correct way. Number 2, once again from Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." So wisdom requires trust in God. Again, this is the way of life that's taught in the book of Proverbs. With all your heart indicates that this trust goes beyond just like kind of agreeing with it, but going full bore into it with our heart and soul, deep reliance on God, a settled confidence in his care and faithfulness to God's word, to making that commitment. Do not lean on our own understanding. Further emphasizes this and explains this idea of trusting in God. The wise will govern themselves by what the Lord declares. They will not set their own finite and often, as someone put it, mistaken understanding against his. And to make straight a person's paths is that the idea of going in the correct direction, the quality of one's life. And I guess we'll do one more here, number 3, from the book of James in the New Testament. Verse 5, "If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him." Again, the connection is understanding God, having reverence for God, learning from God what wisdom is all about. Believers are to have an undivided faith and to ask for wisdom, just as Solomon did, from a generous God. Wisdom here in the New Testament, as in the Old Testament, is a God-given gift, a God-centered discernment that relates to the practical issues in life. It comes from a prayer for God's help, who gives it generously. So we may not be Solomon. We may not enjoy all the power and prestige, certainly, that Solomon enjoyed in his life. But we can have faith, we can trust, we can ask the same God that Solomon asked for wisdom in our own lives. Well, we'll continue with these Bible passages about wisdom as we wrap up this conversation this week tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.